Greetings to everyone. I burn out long before people probably think I did. When my burnout hit, I ignored it. I kept pushing, kept going, kept pretending everything was okay until my body physically couldn't continue any longer. And it almost completely shut down. Suddenly, the Lord brought Pastor Greg and Mama Michelle in my presence. They intentionally discipled me, invested a lot of prayers into my life, also resources and time for me to be able to be effective, not only in ministry, but also in my family. So there are two different components here that are so powerful. When they came into my presence, Pastor Greg and Mama Michelle told me, Daniel, you do a lot of work. You will burn out. And at the end of the day, whatever you do will not even profit anyone. You will lose your ministry. You will lose your family. You lose each and everything that you do because you do a lot of work without any rest. I heard what they told me. I came to realize that as an African pastor, many of other pastors were going through the same problem because I was going through the same challenge. So with the pastoral burnout, it is on a rise in Uganda and probably across the globe. The COVID-19 pandemic added stress and uncertainty to the already challenging role in leading a family and a church. And many pastors and leaders were driven to burnout. So after all this, I felt like I needed to hear the voice of the Lord. Because here, I could do whatever I did, but I could not even hear what the Lord was telling me. I was doing my own things, though I was still serving the Lord. So I felt like I needed to hear the voice of the Lord. So one thing that I came to realize here, that hearing God's voice can sustain us through stormy weather or dry season in our lives. No matter where we are or whatever is going all around us, His voice is just enough to bring peace, to bring joy, and to bring hope. All we need to do is to find a quiet time where we can connect with Him in order to release the abundant joy that He alone can give in moments of our loneliness, anxiety, and discouragement. I just came to learn all this after I sat down under the servants of the Lord. And after all this, before even this, I still had so many struggles. My wife could tell me all the time that, but you need to rest. Sometimes you need to break. You need to have some break because you are running so fast. But I couldn't even hear. But I came to my realization one time that a time may be able to come where I may be able to lose the ministry, to lose the wife, and to lose the children. And I was like, what will I take before the Lord? So I needed to break to be able to do what is right. So after realizing that I needed to take a break, after knowing what was right and doing what was right, then I had a conversation with my wife. And I told her, but I know what we are going through. because we still have so many pastors all around us. As I go through all this, I know that many pastors and leaders around us must also be going through the same challenge. So what we did was to invite the pastors. We took them to a safe place, a solace place by Lake Victoria, and we told them, this time we are bringing you over. It is not a conference, it is not a seminar, it is not a prayer retreat, but you are just going to come and rest. So we brought these men of God, put them in a place, and we asked them the few questions during our one evening. We set up time to ask them. So I set up some questions. Do you feel physically and emotionally exhausted? Have you experienced a loss of joy or fulfillment from your work? Are you experiencing a constant feeling of stress while at work? Do you often feel irritable, angry, and depressed? Are you having trouble sleeping? Is it hard to focus or concentrate while at work or in ministry? Are you constantly dreaming about quitting your job or your ministry? As we asked all these pastors, each and every one of them raised their hands and they said, yes, we are going through all these challenges in life. We realized that what we are doing was right before the Lord. And we knew that we needed to help these pastors to be able to do the work of the ministry effectively. But remember, not only ministry, but also their family. Because that is everything. So we came to learn more about Living Refreshed. And we started having Living Refreshed retreats in Uganda. Unfortunately, I did not bring the pictures. But I just want to say that we are so much blessed, and we are so blessed that the Lord brought Pastor Greg before us to be able to encourage us, not only us, but even as he said, but even the pastors and leaders in the country of Uganda. I'm here to tell you that right now, I can hear the voice of the Lord. I know how God speaks. I can differentiate the voice of God and the voice of the enemy. We have been bringing pastors and their wives also, bringing them together in these retreats. And we've always been having some wonderful time to tell them, you are free to eat, to rest. Just take your time. It is time for you to rest because you need to have a place to rest. I've always been telling them about the quote. Jesus never intended for us to be destroyed by the call of God. Jesus never intended for us to be destroyed by the call of God on our lives. Down here I wrote, Pastor Greg has well. Jesus never called us to burn out, but to live in rest. Mama Michelle has well. After I understood all this, I started to have some time before the Lord. And I started having morning devotions. Because I used to wake up in the morning and just jump out like a bird. But this time around, I learned how to wake up in the morning and have my daily morning devotions. Out of my daily morning devotions, from 2019 to 2024, by the grace of God, I have been able to write 5 books out of my morning devotions. I wake up in the morning and I take time to talk to God every day. Now I'm proud to tell people that I talk to God every day. And they ask me, how does he speak? Then I tell them that I have a safe place where I go and I hear the voice of the Lord. So out of this, I have written 2 devotional books. They will be out by the end of this year, because every day for 365 days, I write a devotional note and I meditate upon it and I journal it every day. And God has been helping me through this. And out of this is how I've been able to write the 5 books about integrity leadership, about will you walk your talk, and so many other different books. So I'm here to let you know that not only that, but also as we built our house, we put a room for the pastors to be able to come and have rest. And we tell them, our house is your house. If you don't hear God, please come to our house, because it has become a place where people are able to hear the voice of the Lord. So pastors come with their wives. We accommodate them. They don't pay anything, but they just come to feel God and enjoy the goodness of the Lord. And after 3 to 4 days, they all testify that when we came into this house, we heard the voice of the Lord. The vision have been renewed. The Lord has been able to talk to us, and we are ready to move on to be able to take the ministry to another level. May the Lord bless you all.